rolling river god, little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. Now I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hands. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges wash away. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Pick me up and notice I am rolling river god. These little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Morning sun coming through the trees, and the green leaves shimmer in the summer breeze. The songbirds singing to the honeybees, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. After the dazzle of day is done, the moon makes love to the setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We sleep in dreams both deep and bright, sailing through the velvet night, refreshing the soul to the spirit's delight, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten.
Sing it if you know it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
It's the cry of a baby, the whisper in prayer. It's voices and laughter. It's the wind in the stillness and the spaces between. It's a spark of fire. It's a seed, a flower, a butterfly's wing. It's a call and an answer. It's a breath, a stirring. It's the pulse in my veins, oozing as I'm through me. It's the truth, it's a knowing. It's our only design. It's eternally growing. It's peace, it's power. Connects all to one. Has no end, no beginning. It's receiving and giving. I release, I let go. Divine shrug in your shoulder. Ooh.
And so it is. And happy Mother's Day. And welcome to our Sunday celebration. I knew I should have changed this shirt. Look how funky that looks. It thinks that my shirt is part of the green screen. I'm going to have to change this shirt. Okay. Well, good morning and welcome to our Sunday service. And Bob says, cool tunes. And Janet said, wow, what a voice. And everybody's logging in all over the place. Let's start off our morning with a little bit of prayer. I'm going to put on some music here in the background. Ah, there it is. Yes. I invite everybody to join me in just sitting back and down into the beauty of this day. Yes. Here's what I know. I know that there is one life, and that life is God. And that life is my life now and the life of each of us gathering together for this Sunday Mother's Day celebration. And I simply know that all is well. All is well with each of us, all is well with our center, all is well in our world as we celebrate the Divine Mother today and individual mothers within our community and those who brought us here into this life as a conduit for that divine urge. I simply know that our day is a blessing and our service is a blessing and that we are each a blessing to each other and that all is well. And knowing that this is the truth of who we are, I release my blessing into the action of that loving and mechanically accurate law, cause and effect, which does the bidding of my conscious thought and my belief right now in this moment. And knowing that all is well, I let it be and I let it go as I bless us. And together we affirm this blessing by saying, and so it is. And so it is. So, well, good morning and welcome to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living. And welcome to our Mother's Day celebration. Let's start off by doing our promises. Let's say these together. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. Well, let's assure our souls right now. I'm going to grab my ukulele. Let's assure our souls by singing, I remember who I am. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. We are life. We are life. We are light, we are love, we are joy, we are peace, we are wisdom, and beautiful harmony, we are pure spirit. I remember who I am, I remember who you are, who we are is pure spirit. Yes, who we are is pure spirit. One last time. Who we are is pure spirit. Yes, who we are is pure spirit. Let's do our community affirmation together. And let's say these words of Dr. Holmes is taken from his Declaration of Principle 1927, first published in Science of Mind magazine in the fall of 1927. And let's say these together. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I know that right now that Judy is in the sanctuary. How are the skylights, Judy?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. Well, you know, this week work began. I'm showing everybody the pictures. There's the crane going up to clean the skylights, and look at that, amazing. And then of course. You can see in this picture, at the top of the screen on the right, you can see the dirty panels, and on the bottom, you can see the clean panels. And, here's Frank's Angels as they get ready to burn some stuff in the yard. And there's Marina burning some stuff. And, of course, the Angels are Emily Caruth and Deborah Kearns and Dawn Simmons burning all that stuff. So a lot of good stuff has happened at the center this week. And... but the world has been weird this week, right? Do you ever feel like Mercury is in retrograde, or perhaps that the world is spinning backwards?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to SGN. I'm John Krasinski, and boy, just when I thought being 5 episodes in, we were really hitting our stride and pretty much immune to any semblance of criticism, along comes the internet and says, hi, remember me? So without further ado, it's time for us once again to get straight to the notes. And at first, the criticism came in merely at the level of a good schoolyard ribbing through tweets like this one from David Harris, who writes, I'm a big fan of some good news, though you're spinning the globe the wrong direction in your opening. Or this one from Elliot M. John Krasinski, I love this show. Wondering, in addition to the awesomeness, if you could spin the globe in the proper direction for the opening. Counterclockwise, looking down. But then things quickly escalated to passive-aggressive when Greg wrote, did the astronauts happen to mention that you're spinning the globe the wrong way? Thanks, Greg. Well, that ignited Elliot M. to fire shot number 2 with, the globe, please just spin it the other way. That's all that stands between SGN and perfection. But the levee finally broke when Melanie from Northwestern North Carolina wrote, I can't stand it anymore. The fate of our world is resting in your hands. Correct the rotational spin of the globe in the opening credits of SGN. Well, though the bluster was more than slightly hurtful, the message was received loud and clear. The problem was, how do I fix it? Lucky for me, my deepest fears of the internet conspiring against me came true, as my 2 seemingly greatest enemies finally came together. The day science teamed up with fan art. I'm John Krasinski. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. This is SGN. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to SGN. I'm John Krasinski, and now that our opening is not only accurately portraying science, but also my very own personal dance moves, it's time for some good news.
I think that is the good news. We figured out what's been going on planet Earth for the last 2 months. John Krasinski's been spinning the globe backwards, causing this whole coronavirus pandemic thing. I get it. Okay. Well, I want to just say hi to everybody who's here this morning. So I'm going to go to the top of the list. Tina Arredondo is here. Charles and Julie are here. Eleanor is here. Richard Strassman is here. David Enos and Sia Enos are here. Deanna is here. Shirley is here. Katrina is here. Paula Garib is here. Dawn Simmons is here. Shirley King is here. Joanne and Roger Goodsell are here. Tammy Friedkin is here. Eleanor Yule is here. Who else? Elizabeth Partaker is here. Christy Kinley is here. Janet Amby is here. Bob Lean is here. Allie April is here. And Deborah Kearns is here. And, of course, at the center this morning is Judy and Lori and Frank, right? Is anybody else there? Hang on, let me turn up your microphone here so I can hear you. Who else is there this morning?
Don and
Lisa.
Somebody's
Lisa
calling
Parker.
in. Who's calling? I don't know who's calling on. Maybe it'll just stop. Hold on. Hang on. That's weird that somebody's calling in. Hang on. I don't want to hang up on you because it'll hang up on you. But I might have to. All right. I don't know what the story with that is. Oh, it's done. Okay, good. Somebody was trying to Skype into me while we're Skyping this morning. How's everything going at the center this morning?
Wonderful. It's absolutely beautiful here with all the flowers in bloom.
Oh, beautiful. And Emily's online. Fred Wilbanks is online. And so, when you look up, are all the skylights completely clean?
Yes, they are.
Right. Do you need sunscreen yet there today?
Not quite, but some people might want to wear sunglasses, but I don't think it'll be necessary.
Okay, good. Well, I'm hoping we're going to be back there soon as it is safe. So, Judy, why don't you lead us through our affirmation, our flames of faith, and our treatment, and we'll start off with the affirmation, please.
Okay. The affirmation today is, I will read it first, and please join me. Today, I listen to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. Please join me. Today, I listen to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. Once more, today, I listen to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. And that's very much what I did last fall when I asked everybody to join me in putting money in the jar to help create the light that's in here. It has been quite an experience to have it come to fruition, and I can't wait for everybody to come and see it. So let's do the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony on Sunday to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faith, all beings come to the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the four noble truths, the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle, honoring all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcomed here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And so it is. And as we are in this presence, in this beautiful light, the love and understanding of spiritual presence, ever present, ever within us, around us, moving through us, we bless this beautiful and glorious day. I also wish to bless everyone, from the pennies to the dollars, that contributed to the relighting of the center. It is a beautiful experience to see, and we bless each and everyone involved. We bless this day and all the people that volunteer at this center, from the sound to the kitchen to the classrooms to the office and bookstore, to everyone involved. Thank you, God, for this beautiful blessing that we have bestowed. And we know that it is good and very good on this wonderful Mother's Day, even though we don't get to have an auction. Thank you, one and all, and thank you, God. And so it is.
And so it is. No sugar today. No auction today.
No, I feel so lost. I don't know what to do
know.
with this.
What are we going to do? No fellowship
Go find
today
a piece
either.
of
By the way,
chocolate.
just so everybody knows, right after service, I am making Sharon brunch, and then I'm taking her out into Ventura County to go on a hike where the air is nice and clean, and we're going to put our masks on, and we're going to go out on I'm taking her to do her favorite Mother's Day thing, which is going for a hike. So thank you, Judy and Lori, for putting this together this morning, and you may go to the office, and thanks. I'll talk to you guys later. And so we have a beautiful song this morning from Emily. It's a Jason Mraz song. I'm so grateful that she sent it to us. And here's Emily Caruth with 93 Million Miles.
$93 million miles from the sun. People get ready, 'cause here it comes. It's a light, a beautiful light, over the horizon into our eyes. Oh my, how beautiful. Oh my beautiful mother told me, son, in life you're gonna go far. If you do it right, you'll love where you are. Just know, wherever you go, you can always come back home. 240,000 miles from the moon. Come a long way to belong here. Share this view of the night, a glorious night. Over the horizon is another bright sky. Oh my, how beautiful. Oh my irrefutable father told me, son, sometimes it may seem dark, but the absence of the light is the necessary part. Just know you're never alone. You can always come back home. Oh, you can always come back home and back. Every road is a slippery slope, but there is always a hand you can hold on to. Looking deeper through the telescope, and you can see that your home's inside of you. Just know, wherever you go, no, you're never alone. You can always come back home. Home. 93 million miles from the sun. People get ready, 'cause here it comes. It's a light, a beautiful light, over the horizon, into our eyes.
Wow, thank you, Emily. I love Jason Mraz, and I love you, and I really appreciate that. I changed my shirt, everybody, so that now that's one of the only benefits of doing service from home is that while Emily was singing, I ran into the house and I changed my shirt. So now that I don't have that thing going on anymore. During Emily's song, Catherine Demke texted me and she said, the Demkes are watching on YouTube. In lieu of the auction, I'm just making my kids bake for me. Miss you all. So she's having her own sugar auction there this morning. So it is Mother's Day, and we are celebrating the Divine Mother. And interestingly enough, Jason, who is a religious scientist, he's a New Thought thinker, he mentions his mother in the lyrics of this song. And he says, but first he says, people get ready, because here it comes. It's a light. A beautiful light over the horizon into our eyes. Oh my, how beautiful. Oh, my beautiful mother. She told me, son, in life, you're going to go far. If you do it right, you'll love where you are. If you do it right, you'll love where you are. And you know, Jason is, in fact, a religious scientist. He's sung at some of our churches, actually. It brings up to me, though, the question is, if you do it right, you're going to go far. But how do we do it right? What does it mean to do it right? This month, our global vision all month is this idea of listening to your heart. Listening to your heart. And the truth of the matter is, and that's also our talk title today, Listen to Your Heart. And the truth of the matter is that we're making the connection this month to our heart being our soul, our heart being our divine urge, and that divine mother influence, that is the heart of who each and every one of us is. We talked recently about the divine feminine. It's such a powerful, creative, when we think of the whole, biological, metaphysical nature of the universe, and we look at how the female and the male come together to create those two energies, but this month, this week, what we're talking about is this, it's the second week of May, and our theme says the first sense to develop in the embryo is sound. The first sound an embryo hears is its mother's heartbeat. The heartbeat, the voice of the heart, is primal. It is the wisdom and guidance of the universal divine. It is where our intuition resides. It is forever speaking, guiding, imparting itself to us, through us, and as us. And when we listen and pay attention, we can hear the call upon our lives. Wow. And since it is Mother's Day, and as our theme points out, that the first sound that an embryo hears is its mother's heartbeat, I thought it might be nice for you guys to actually hear what that sounds like. I was shocked to find out that YouTube is actually filled with videos of that sound, of what it sounds like in the womb. And people use these videos all the time to get their kids to go to sleep because it's such a fundamentally calming sound. You know, the very first gift that a mother gives her child is the heartbeat. And the sound of that heartbeat lives with that child the entire time that they're in the uterus. So I want to wish all the mothers, everyone who has carried another human being in their body, happy Mother's Day. And let's also just take a moment to hear about how Mother's Day came about.
The ancient Greeks were among the first to pay tribute to Mom. Sort of. Their spring festival honored Rhea, the mother of all Greek gods. That holiday didn't pan out. In medieval Britain, servants were given the fourth Sunday of Lent to travel home and spend the day with their moms. This custom was called Mothering Sunday. But the modern-era Mother's Day was created by Anna Marie Jarvis. Anna admired her mother, who had tended to the wounded during America's Civil War and later became a community activist. When young Anna was 12, it is believed she heard her mother pray that one day there might be a Memorial Day for mothers, for all the good that they do. Young Anna never forgot the prayer, and when her mom died in May of 1905, the plan for a holiday was born. On the second anniversary of her mom's death, Anna held a church memorial dedicated to her mother's good deeds. In May of 1908, Anna held another memorial and handed out white carnations, her mom's favorite flower. She contacted Philadelphia philanthropist John Wanamaker, who joined a Mother's Day committee in hopes of honoring all mothers all across the nation. In 1910, West Virginia became the first state to observe the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. After a fierce letter-writing campaign, Anna got Congress to federally recognize the holiday. And in 1914, President Wilson signed a bill that officially made the second Sunday in May Mother's Day. The holiday was meant to be spent in church. Afterwards, sons and daughters would write loving letters to their mothers. Carnations were worn that day. Pink or red honored living mothers, and white honored moms who had passed. With each year, more and more Mother's Day carnations were sold. And by 1920, greeting card companies got into the Mother's Day biz. Anna was enraged by what she considered a lazy excuse for letters that should be handwritten. By 1924, the holiday creator was so appalled with the commercialization of Mother's Day that she petitioned to abolish it. In 1930, Anna was arrested for disturbing the peace at a Mother's Day carnation sale. Sadly, Anna spent the rest of her life and family inheritance fighting the holiday. She died in 1948, leaving no children to remember her. Since then, Mother's Day has become one of the most profitable holidays for florists and the phone company's highest volume day of the year. This probably wouldn't have pleased Anna, but deep down she would have to be satisfied that on her Mother's Day, millions of moms around the world receive extra attention and well-deserved hugs.
My mom is no longer with us. It's been 10 years since my mom passed. But my mother-in-law is healthy and well, and I did speak with her this morning while Xander and I were out on our walk together. And, Centers for Spiritual Living, we have a new spiritual leader. His name is Reverend Dr. Edward Fuljoen. It's spelled Viljoen, but it's pronounced Fuljoen, like full moon, but Fulyoun, Reverend Dr. Edward Fulyoun, and he's a very good friend of mine. And he told this story about growing up in Holland, where Mother's Day is not a widely known celebration. And when he learned about this beautiful practice of honoring motherhood in all of its forms for a particular day, he had already immigrated to the United States. He called his mother on his first Mother's Day here to wish her a happy Mother's Day, and he'll never forget her response. She said, "Oh, Edward, every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day." So as we continue to focus this month on listening to our hearts and connecting our heart to our divine creative urge and honoring the divine mother within us, we recognize that every day really is Mother's Day, because every day is an opportunity to acknowledge and to celebrate the divine mother and motherhood in all of its forms, and also to honor that aspect of the divine within us that embraces, loves, includes, nurtures, and knows us. And so much of our work as metaphysicians is about changing our thinking and changing our believing so that we can ultimately eliminate discord from our human experience, ultimately eliminate things that don't work for us, that are conflicts. Oh, Mary Franklin's here now, and she said she had her Mother's Day visit with her family. Good, Mary. I'm glad to see that. So a lot of our work, our treatment work and our spiritual meditation work is about being in alignment with our highest good so we experience more joy. But our measurement on earth often of experiencing more joy is experiencing less conflict, less stuff going on that we don't want to experience, and really connecting ourselves to a higher experience. And but a holiday like Mother's Day, which is, of course, as it said in the video, a commercial holiday, but is also a fun celebration of our relationship with that divine creativity, as well as our earthly mother, whether she's here or past, But, I like to think of that divine something within me, as we talked about the other week, our heart, as the fingerprint, of what God, the fingerprint of our soul, that fingerprint that God manifested as us. And when we practice listening to our heart, we have an opportunity to become more authentic, relate to people in a better way, more compassionately. And when we can do that successfully, and we see that we can do that successfully, and we realize that we're always connected to each other, something grows in us. We're guided to make more compassionate choices, and find the most loving ways of being in relationship with each other. So again, to everybody who gave birth, and to those of you who did not give physical birth but are step parents, but raised a child, raised a grandchild, whoever you are, wherever you may be, my blessing for you is this: honor how you have contributed to humanity. I honor how you have contributed to us as a people, as a society, and I thank you. I thank you for all that you've done to raise, as much as possible, happy and healthy young people who become happy and healthy adult people. And I know that this year, due to our pandemic situation, Mary D says, "This is my first time attending one of your services, and I feel so blessed by it. Hello from Tucson, Arizona." Thank you, Mary. Nice to see you. I know that this year, because of the pandemic, many Mother's Day celebrations are going to be different.
Sunday is Mother's Day, though it won't be quite the same this year. CBS's Jamie Yukas met a mother and daughter team who aren't letting the pandemic stop them or their love of cooking.
Chef Kelly Briglio cooked up the Paradise Pantry in Ventura 13 years ago. But her love of food started much earlier in her grandmother's Italian kitchen and by watching her mother, Debbie Kennedy, cook for 5 kids.
She said she learned a lot from you growing up in the kitchen.
Yeah, get it done and get it out.
Before coronavirus, the mother-daughter duo lived and worked together, bonded by love and culinary skill.
In my opinion, she's one of the best cooks around. All right, I'm good.
Traditionally, most moms get a break from standing behind a hot stove on Mother's Day. Not this one.
And she cooks for me, and I'm not going to tell her no. Absolutely not.
You want to be in the kitchen.
I want to be in the kitchen, and plus I get tons of sympathy. I walk out, and they go, she's making you work Mother's Day. Yeah.
But this year, Kelly's concerned for her mom's health and has asked her to skip the annual Mother's Day brunch, which will now be takeout only.
Are you going to miss not being there this
Oh,
Mother's Day?
sheesh, yes. It's killing me.
For now, it's a tradition reimagined, but one bound to carry on.
Isn't there something, though, about food being love?
Well, it's all we have. I mean, that's how I show people that I love. Eat this. That's how I love you.
Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Ventura, California.
Food is love. And in my experience anyway, mom's food is the best love. Mom's food. My mom was a great home cook. And Sherry Lee says, thanks for acknowledging us mothers that did not give birth to our children. My son is adopted, and I have never felt like he isn't my natural child. Because he is your natural child. Just because he's not your biological child doesn't mean... Because if we believe what we teach, and I do, that everything is unfolding exactly the way that it's supposed to for us, you were always meant to raise that son. So, I'm grateful to all the moms for the continuity of life that you perpetuate, just like you, Shirley. And I'm thankful for our divine wisdom, which is ever present through us and through each mother. And I'm grateful for that inner voice that never leads us astray. When we really listen to our true, authentic inner voice, it cannot lead us astray. Sometimes it looks like that because we don't necessarily like some of the stops along the way, but that does not mean that they're not meant to be our stops along the way. But that, of course, brings up that question, how do we hear that inner voice? How do we listen? How do we hear that inner voice? Well, we listen to our heart. You know what feels right. When you know that it feels right, you are listening to your inner voice, and the universe is always unfolding for our highest good. And Dr. Holmes, in his Declaration of Principles, said this: we believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. So how do we become conscious of it? Same answer. We listen to our heart. That is the way that we become conscious of it. That is the way that we experience heaven right here on earth. We listen to our heart. And when we listen to our heart, what we're doing is we're putting our life on the road to an on the road to an experience of heaven right here on planet Earth. Listening to our heart is the road that we travel to experiencing that heaven. But I also, look, especially now with everything that's going on, I recognize that we're in a world where so many things can distract us. We've talked about this before. Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith used to say to me, don't pay attention to the news. It's just the same crappy things happening to different people every day, right? Don't if you're going to listen to the news, if you're going to listen to all the stuff that's going on, Dr. Fauci is now, in quarantine. If they're not safe at the White House, who's safe? It's like, if you're going to listen to that stuff, recognize it as a personal call for prayer. That's like the best thing that you can do, is recognize that anything that you hear that creates any kind of conflictual reaction within yourself is an opportunity to go inside and become aligned consciously with your highest good. That's the best thing that we can do, is to consciously align ourselves with our highest good. Brandy says, good morning. I missed the first half, but I'm here now, and I will watch the playback. XOXOXO. I was listening to my heart. That's why I was... See, everything's perfect, Brandy. Everything's perfect. So, it's so easy. I recognize this stuff on the screen here. It's so easy to get lured away from the practice of listening to our heart, listening to our, true voice, which is the voice of our soul. It is the voice of spirit. And it's easy for us to get caught in the swirl of daily life and to forget that we've already received the gift of life itself. It's already been given to us. You're here. You're alive. And you're alive with what Dr. Holmes teaches us is volition, the power to choose what you're going to experience, the power to choose. And so we practice that. And you know, it's funny because it always makes me think of Glinda, the good witch. Makes me think of Glinda, the good witch, when she said, you know, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. You already have. We get so distracted that we forget that everything we're looking for was right there with us all along. And right within us is this power, you know, our heart and our power and our ability to listen to our divine intuition is everything. You know, listen again to that sound of the mother's heart. This is the sweet spot of quieting the mind and listening to the heart. Listening literally to the heart. Think about it. When you're in utero, the heart that you're hearing is the heart of your universe. Because when you're in the uterus, that is your universe. And after that, we come out and we have an opportunity to listen to our divine heart, the heartbeat of what's happening all around us. And yes, there can be distractions, but the way that we deal with those distractions is through our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer, and also through meditation. I talked about this yesterday, I think. What if I could give you a 25-hour day? You can have a 25-hour day or a 27-hour day. People say to me all the time, I don't have time to meditate. Yes, you do. Think about it. If all the tasks of your day are going to take you 8 hours, but by meditating you can get all those tasks done in 4 hours or 5 or 6, it's all plus time. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do your spiritual practice. It will. I absolutely guarantee you that doing your spiritual practice will add hours to your day. And listening to your heart is part of that spiritual practice. And feeling that heartbeat, pulse. I'm gonna put it on one more time. Listen to it. I'm gonna listen to it one more time. Just absolutely calms me right down. I'm gonna put an entire hour of this on my iPhone so that I can listen to it whenever I want to. When I discovered that video, or many of these videos this week of that sound, I just went nuts. I've been listening to it here in the studio while I've been working all week. It is amazing. It is absolutely astounding. Dr. Holmes says to us, the universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes we've made, we are still perfect beings within. Isn't that amazing to listen to? No matter how many mistakes we may have made, we are still perfect beings within, and the within may become the without if we will carefully train ourselves to listen to that inner voice of truth which speaks to us in our moments of quietness. In our moments of quietness. You know, the song that is always singing, always revealing its divine wisdom through us and as us. What is its message? What wisdom does it want to impart to us? When we are in the practice of listening to our hearts, we have the chance to remember that we are always connected to each other, to the universe, to universal intelligence, and that there's just one thing going on, and that is spirit expressing itself. And when Dr. Holmes says, if we carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth which speaks to us in our moments of quietness and solitude, that reminds me, it's, you know, we can never do anything wrong in God's eyes, just like we can't really do anything wrong in our mother's eyes. No matter how many mistakes we've made, we're still perfect in our mother's eyes as well. And a different kind of mother, Mother Teresa, said, God speaks in the silence of the heart. Listening is the beginning of the prayer. Listening is the beginning of the prayer. Listening to our heart is the secret to a happy and fulfilling life. Because God in us, as us, is us. God in us, as us, is us. For our backronym this week, I took the lyrics of that great old 1915 song by Howard Johnson and Theodore Morse that said, M is for the million things she gave me. O means only that she's growing older. T is for the tears she shed to save me. H is for her heart of purest gold. E is for her eyes with love light shining. R means right, and right she'll always be. Put them all together, they spell mother, a word that means the world to me. Our affirmation for this week is, today I listen to my higher self and I completely trust the process. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and someone just texted me with the most beautiful compliment, which I'm not going to read on here. Well, I will. Someone said to me, because it sounds self-aggrandizing, but I'm very much appreciated. It said, I just can't get over how talented you are. You pull the services off like there's nothing to it. Well, you know what? I'm glad you feel that way. There's actually quite a bit of work that goes into it, and the fact that I practice it is what makes it look seamless. But I'm very honored that you feel like I'm doing something good for all of us during this time of the pandemic. So I'm very, very pleased that this is working for you. Thank you so much. I just want to remind you guys that I want to say this before we go into our reminder of our time of giving. Our last month in March, our giving was solid. This month, we didn't make as many contributions as we did last month, and I realize that there is a financial component to what's going on in this paradigm of the pandemic crisis. But I want to remind you that if we want to be able to successfully continue to do what we do, and when it's time for us to reopen, that we have to continue. I do too. I forgot to send in my tithe check because I'm home and I'm doing all this stuff. So I just mailed in my tithe check. Please, if you are able to, continue to support the center, hopefully in the way that you've been supporting the center coming up until now, so that we can continue to afford to stay open and do the things that we need to do. We're getting ready to listen to all of the guidance from the state of California about when we can and should be able to reopen. And we'll keep you, of course, informed, And I sent out a thing about trust, and I'm going to go back to our affirmation here for a second, because as I said in my message for today, trust, to rely unconditionally on spirit, to be able to rely unconditionally, to be able to rely upon spirit totally. During times like this is really why we practice. Sometimes it's not easy. The affirmation today, I listen to my higher self and I completely trust the process. Sometimes it's not easy. I get that. But this is why we practice, and this is the work that we do. So I want to remind you that we can give through the Give Plus mobile app. Of course, you can go to our website. And by the way, now, if you haven't noticed it, on the front page of our website, Leslie Hinton and I added the link to this service and this YouTube channel on the front page of our website. So you shouldn't have any trouble. You can also mail your tithe to us at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living on Corwin Road, 18575 Corwin Road in Apple Valley. But then again, you can go back to the website and you can scroll all the way down the bottom. See that donate button there? And down the bottom, I'm circling it there, the donate button there. You can go to the center and drop it off in the mailbox, or you can show up. Let's go ahead and do our affirmation for giving right now. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And, I personally try to do my absolute best to bless every transaction. I bless this gift in faith, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Even when I'm gassing up my bike at the gas station, when I go to, buy chewing gum, when I do any of that stuff, I try to do my best to know this. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Charles says, giving through the Vanco mobile app has increased significantly since we've been meeting this way, thanks to all who are continuing their support of our precious center. Yes, I'm so glad. And Barbara says, I'm here now too. I was on a Mother's Day phone conversation with my sons. Love the sounds from the womb. Sounds kind of like the ocean, which has always felt spiritual to me. Does to me too, Barbara. Thank you for saying that. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. I know that the divine indwelling Spirit blesses and protects you. I know that Spirit is kind and gracious through you. And I know that Spirit shines its light upon you and is your peace. And so it is. Amen. Let's all connect to our Divine Mother today, alive or past, here on planet Earth or out in the ethers of the universe. Let's listen to our hearts and do what our divine intuition tells us is the thing to do. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. I want to thank everybody who contributes to the experience that we have of our center. I want to thank our practitioner corps, Marina and Clay and Lori and Frank, and Judy was practitioner today, and Mary Franklin. Our practitioners continue to treat for our entire community on a weekly basis. We're in touch all the time. I want to remind you, you can call me or text me at 661-313-6044, or just simply answer any of the texts that I send out from the center. I was so sorry that on Friday afternoon I had been teaching a seminar to New Thought artists about how to do all this streaming stuff, and I couldn't get into the texting and the calling app, and finally texting was allowed, but calling wasn't, and people were actually wondering if there was something wrong with me because I hadn't gotten my my messages out, but everything was fine. And technology, they say to err is human, but to really mess things up takes a computer. So we know that all is well. I'm glad you're appreciating the services and appreciating my daily text messages. I want to wish everybody, again, an absolutely happy Mother's Day. I'm going to put that Mother's Day image up again here. I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. And I'm going to go now and make brunch for Sharon. I gave Sharon an Alexa. Me and the boys, Jesse and Tyler and I, gave Sharon an Alexa so she can just say, Alexa, play music. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. We're going to have brunch, and then we're going to go directly to Ventura County, where the air is clean, and we're going to go out on a hike. So you guys have a beautiful day. Listen to your divine heart. I love you all. Peace and blessings. Namaste.
I can't